From the Roxo Media House studios here in Fort Worth, this is Frogs Today. Our men's and women's golf and tennis teams just returned from Big 12 championships, with selection shows happening now, and our beach volleyball team is in the middle of hosting the Big 12 championships for the first time ever and playing in the championship match later this afternoon at 1. Baseball is in a three-way tie for second place in conference, returning home tonight to host Baylor in a three-game series at Lupton. Track and field are at the Penn Relays after a strong showing out west and down south in Waco at the Michael Johnson Invitational. Indoor volleyball is at SMU, continuing their spring season tomorrow, and big news from Sonny Dykes and his football team as they head to Ireland to open the 2026 season. This is Season 6 of our Frogs Today weekly show. And thanks for joining us from the Roxo Media House studios. I'm your host, Cam Patton with TCU Women's Soccer.
And I'm Olivia Geller with soccer as well. Yes, you heard that right, Frog fans. Our football team is headed across the pond to Ireland to open the season against UNC in the 2026 season.
Our women's golf team, holding strong at number 15 in the country, heard their name called as the number 3 seed heading to Lexington, Kentucky in a couple of weeks.
Our men's team just returned from their conference championships in Tulsa this week and looks to hear their name called as well, potentially on Wednesday.
NCAA selection shows for beach volleyball are over the weekend and followed by tennis on Monday. And speaking of selection shows, the NFL draft started yesterday and various TCU football players look to get that call. Receivers Jack Besh and Savion Williams are among the two that have a strong shot of getting picked up tonight on day 2.
Absolutely. They are probably two of the most versatile receivers coming out of college football this year. All that and more after a word from our sponsor, Richard's Rainwater.
The best tasting water comes straight from the sky, leaving just pure, refreshing raindrops in every bottle. Taste the difference, sip the sky.
What do you see when you look up at the clouds? At Richard's Rainwater, we see the greatest source of pure, delicious water looking right back down at us. We've invented a simple, powerful technology to collect and bottle rainwater. Our process begins with the rain. When clouds become saturated, droplets fall from the sky. Rainfall is a naturally cleansing event. During the first few minutes, the raindrops clean the atmosphere and wash away any dirt or debris from surface areas. At this cleanest point in the rain cycle, we collect the pure raindrops into large storage vessels. Then, we use a simple, yet effective combination of ozone and microfiltration to ensure our rainwater surpasses the highest drinking water standards. We pour the pure, refreshing rainwater into glass bottles and aluminum cans, packaging as infinitely renewable as the water itself. Richard's Rainwater is building a network of collection systems across the country to ensure our rainwater is local everywhere. The purest, best-tasting water comes from the sky. Richard's Rainwater, sip the sky.
Welcome back to the show. I'm Cam Patton, freshman defender with women's soccer, and we have to start with our number 2 ranked beach volleyball team, who is on to the championship match this afternoon at 1 p.m. Here's how it went down.
I mean, today was awesome. We both had our parents here, we had our classmates, we had our friends. It was beautiful weather, like finally the sun came out, and it was just a really cool day.
So I like the mentality of respecting the opponent and not letting them come back and fight back, regardless what the score was. When we were leading in a lot of courts, and we'd never stop pushing and pushing and pushing. And that's something that we talk a lot throughout the season. That's something that you practice. You don't go to a game and say, I'm going to push it today. You just have to do that every single weekend, regardless who's your opponent, regardless of the score. And the girls got it. We didn't drop a single set the whole day, and that's against really good teams. And that means like the girls are really understanding the why we have to do it, the why we practice that, and that's the scores, and that's the fantastic job they're doing as a team, as a whole, because you play individually or per individuals or per pairs on each side, but everybody is on their mind thinking about the same. Keep pushing, keep pushing, keep pushing, regardless what is going on in the next court to me. It's just a team effort, right? And we're in the same boat, we're just going through the same direction, and that's amazing.
It makes me feel happy and excited. I've been away from the course for a couple of weeks, and getting back to the court with Danny is just amazing, feeling the energy of the team too, and we're having fun out there, and that's what we like doing.
I think we just did our job on the court. We followed all the things we had to that we talked with the coach about. And yeah, I think the setup was good, passing was really good, and I think our game today was good. That's what made us feel to finish it quicker.
I think it's really cool playing with Tanya. I mean, she was out for a couple weeks, and I don't know, I just have so much fun when I play with her, and it's amazing to have the opportunity to step on the court with her, representing this beautiful school. And tomorrow we will do this for one last time at home, so I'm really excited.
I mean, it's been really tough at first because we're two blockers and we don't normally play defense, and we had to really adapt. After playing UCLA, we knew that we had the chance to win against really, really good teams, and as long as we played our game, we weren't going to have any problems.
Oh yeah, it's amazing, especially with that big senior class that we have. That I think is one of the fairy tale stories, right? That we hope that it will end up, how it should end up, and with confidence, as you said, we have a undefeated record at home for 4 to 5 seasons, though. So we're gonna keep it that way tomorrow. It's a final. You play finals, you never know what can happen because that's the beauty of the sport. But with confidence, and I mean the girls are in the right spot, and whoever's in front of us, we're gonna play our best, and we're gonna win. We're gonna try to win the whole thing.
It's our last home tournament, and it's going to be our last game here at TCU, so getting a little bit emotional there, so it means more than usual. But yeah, keeping that streak there, it's also great for the program, for TCU, and it represents what this team means to all of us. It's just one team, and we're always there fighting, taking care of business, and let's keep it there.
Have to keep building every single point, every single set, and going out with all we have. We've been working so hard during the whole season. We came back so many times, and we pushed another teams to the limit as well. So, I mean, tomorrow we have another opportunity to keep growing and keep building on for gold source as well.
We just have a stacked team, like all the way from the 1s to the 12s. Like, we have so many people here that can play legit good volleyball, and I just think in practice, we push each other every day to be better. We compete really hard against each other, whether it be the 4s against the 5s in practice or something like that. We all compete really well, so I mean that just makes us a really high level team, I think.
Yeah, I agree with what Liv said. We have such an amazing players in our team, and everyone every day working as hard as they can, and I think all of us are ready to go and play anytime.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, so happy, beyond happy, as you said. It was a dream of mine since I got here, and just the fact we're in the final first time in Big 12, it means a lot to me, to the team, to the staff, to the school. And it's the girls they're killing it, man. This morning was a big delay. We've been waiting to play since pretty much 11 a.m. and and the girls just did a tremendous job. So we're really, really happy, and they're ready. They're eager. They want more, and they want to win.
Next up for the Frogs is today at 1 p.m. in the championship match at the TCU Beach Volleyball courts right outside the rec center. And while we are talking about consistency, we have to mention our women's golf team, holding strong at number 15. Heard their name on Wednesday as they are going dancing into the NCAA regional round as the number 3 seed, heading to Lexington, Kentucky to the Keene Trace Golf Club. It never gets old to see and hear your name.
So here are the teams in the Lexington.
No, and I don't take it for granted either. Yeah, just so grateful, and to be a number 3 seed, it's actually huge because you get preferred tee times those first 2 days. It just really sets you up, in good position. And then obviously playing with the 1 and 2 seed, or they playing with us, really, yeah, it's so grateful and just really proud of the girls.
I'm excited for Kentucky. We were told to have big energy, and we were going to come with big energy either way, but we'd be happy anywhere. But with Kentucky, that was where our first win of the fall was, so it's going to be special.
I had that experience my freshman year where we went to regionals and nationals, and it's just like super cool to see that like all the hard work is paying off, and going to regionals to Kentucky, Lexington, in a golf course that we won our first fall season tournament, and it's just like super special, and we're very excited.
We're comfortable wherever we go. We're going to practice, get a practice round, but we have the confidence there. We know how to win there, we know how to play there, so very excited.
Honestly, just do the same that we've been doing. Practice, like very focused practice, competitive. We've been very competitive with each other, just playing some match play, and have good energy. We have a lot of energy, and yeah.
We've just kept doing what we're doing. We've stayed very consistent to the process and just really held on to that. It's really cool, though, to kind of see how everyone's shocked, because we all know we have it in us, and we're finally proving ourselves. So to be up there is really cool and surprise people.
Earlier this year, in September, the team won the Betty Lou Evans Invitational at the same course. Head coach Angie Ravioli-Larkin talks about the course, and Big 12 All-Tournament selection, Sophia Barrasso-Saw, comments on heading back to Kentucky as well.
I like to think that it won't give any advantage because, for example, like I played Big 12s last year on the same golf course we played this year, and my strategy was to completely like delete everything that I had in my mind from last year's Big 12s and just like get to know the golf course as I never been there. So that's going to be what I'm going to do for regionals, not even look at the yardage book, just get a new strategy, a new look at the golf course, and just to not think about it. At the same time, obviously, it's a big deal, but just have an open mindset for it.
It sets up well for our ball striking. When we were there in the fall, the greens were really rolled really well. We read the ball well there. It's just such a peaceful place. When we drove through there, we were driving to the golf course every day. You know, a couple of the girls were like, "I want to move here one day," which is so random, but it just is really just great vibes and just a beautiful, peaceful property, and just a very simple and special way of life. You know, the horses, I think it reminds a lot of our European girls of Europe. They mentioned that when we were out there, just the scenery and the openness, and so, yeah.
The team has come a long way since September at Pebble Beach, has won 3 tournaments for the first time in 36 years, producing 9 top 5 finishes in their 11 events, with the 4th place finish at the Big 12s last week. What are some takeaways leading into the NCAA regionals? Sometimes you win, sometimes you learn was the attitude coming out of Hockley last week.
Yeah, just that, you know, we continue to put ourselves in position to win. And, you know, we hit some great golf shots out there and really gave ourselves a really good chance. And so I just think that was my message when we got back was, you know, I know we were disappointed. However, we just continue to knock on the door, and we've banged down the door 3 times this year with wins. So I think just the belief they have in themselves and each other, and just knowing our depth that we have, and yeah, just a lot of positives coming out of there. And quite frankly, I think they're even hungrier. You know, because we didn't win. So it's like, okay, bigger and better things. You know, we always write down 5 things we've learned from every tournament, each player, and every one of them said there's bigger and better things for us to go after now. And, you know, and the next step is, you know, winning regionals.
Big 12, that was a tough loss, for sure. Stung for a day or 2, but I mean, we're on to bigger and better things, so that's what we're focusing on. But I think just putting ourselves in position to win is what we need to do, and we'll keep doing these last 2 events.
The Horned Frogs have reached the tournament 28 times in the last 31 years. Regional play will take place from May 5th to the 7th, and the top 5 teams from each of the 6 regional spots will advance to the national championships. The men sit in 4th place after the 3rd round, and Joe Pagden is tied for 4th. Who is even par through 54 holes. Charlie Wiley is tied in 14th place at +7 after 3 rounds of play. One more round for the boys at the Southern Hills in Tulsa. After the break, Olivia will get us caught up on baseball, track and field, and football.
Welcome to the Squire Shop.
We are locally owned and operated since 1994.
We specialize in the finest men's clothing that the market has to offer at affordable prices with unbelievable service.
We do custom clothing all the way to more casual, Peter Millar, Johnny O, kind of everything. Well, my dad's the owner, so I've been around retail my whole life. Oh, it's great. I mean, it's the best boss I'll ever have. I know that.
We love our TCU community. They have been so good to us. Come see us today. Go Frogs!
We are back here at the Roxo Media House Studios, and I'm Olivia Geller, a freshman goalkeeper with the TCU women's soccer team. Baseball is coming off a Big 12 road trip in Orlando, dropping the series to UCF after opening the series with a 6-1 win over the Knights. Sophomore transfer pitcher Tommy Lepore was on the mound in Game 1 and continues his strong season, being selected as co-Big 12 Pitcher of the Week, the first time achieving that accolade, and landed on the College Baseball Pitcher of the Year watch list this week. Lepore is 6-2 with a .215 ERA, with an opponent batting average of .196. On Thursday night, he held the league's best hitting team to only 4 hits and allowed only 1 unearned run, striking out 4. Head coach Kirk Sarlos talks about his young pitcher.
You know, with Tommy, it's, you know, you want to run somebody out there on Friday night that gives you a good chance to get the weekend off on a good start, and I think, you know, he's done that, and you know, he fills the strike zone up, so the defense is always on their toes, ready for action. I think that helps a lot, you know, in terms of gets everybody involved. He pitches with tempo, he pitches with excitement, you know, shows some enthusiasm when he's out there, and that's fun when you have a guy that has that kind of excitement, enthusiasm to go out and do what he does. I think it rubs off on everybody else on that particular day.
Frogball is 29-12 and 12-6 in the Big 12 and a 3-way tie for second. We're on a Big 12 win streak coming into the UCF series and have won 4 out of the last 5 conference series, sweeping BYU and, at the time, league-leading Kansas.
You know, you look at our schedule with, you know, double midweek and then DBU and then, you know, the middle part of our schedule. You know, this time of the year, you know, we decided to play front-load our schedule with a lot of games. 4 to open the season on a weekend. We played 2 double midweeks. So I felt like, you know, we have this next week, we have a Tuesday game, and that's our last one. So I feel like it kind of gets you to almost get maybe a second wind to be able to iron some things out that you want to iron out during practice, because, you know, Mondays are off days, Tuesdays would be a game, and then you have a Wednesday practice and a Thursday you have a light practice. So felt like at the end of the year here, just trying to get a second win and work on some things that we needed to work on in practice.
Let's talk about Chase Brunson real quick. This 6'3" sophomore has reached base safely for 40 consecutive games, which is the longest base streak in the history of the program. Brunson is hitting .335 on the season.
Last year, I mean, he got off to a great start last year, his freshman year, and then, you know, had a back injury, and I think he played through it for about 2 or 3 weeks, which kind of just zapped his twitch and his athleticism, and you know, him getting that fixed. He missed all fall, which, you know, that's hard to do sometimes. You know, he missed probably 75, 80 at-bats this fall, rehabbing from his back surgery. So, you know, when we got him back in January, you know, he started swinging it, and it was like, okay, wow, like, he didn't really lose any bat speed. He probably got some, you know, gained some, and he was really good in the fall of not being able to participate, but mentally being on it, listening to Coach Mo, being around the position players, you know, learning a new system, you know, that he had to. And so I think for him, you know, his great attribute is the same thing. Like, he wants to be great, and he's competitive and doesn't give an inch, you know. And so, you know, another guy that I think, you know, comes to the field every single day with a great attitude and is ready to play.
Baylor is coming off a home series win over Utah after dropping Game 1, 13-1. They rebounded to win the series to improve to 8-10 overall in Big 12 play and 26-14 overall.
This is as good a team as they've had in a long time. You know, they've done a good job. You know, I feel like on the mound they've done a really good job. Have some power left-handed starting pitching. A lot of their, you know, when Mitch Thompson, their head coach, got there a couple years ago, you know, they played a lot of young players as the first year. Now all those young players are old players. So they have a sprinkling of some young guys, but for the most part, there's a lot of guys with a lot of at-bats in that lineup. So a veteran group that's been playing a lot of baseball together, and they're starting to figure out in terms of how to win, and they're right in the middle of our conference. I think they're 8-10. So it's going to be an exciting weekend. It's especially, with them only being, 99 miles down the street and being able to have them up here. It'll be a fun weekend and looking forward to a great 3 games.
First pitch is tonight at 6 p.m. at Lepton Stadium. Frogs Today will have your pre- and post-game shows on our socials at Frogs Today. Track and field are at the Penn Relays, currently coming off a solid showing at the Michael Johnson Invitational in Waco last weekend. The women continue to impress, ranked at number 15, specifically at number 2 in the 100, number 4 in javelin, number 6 in the 400 hurdles, number 11 in the 200, number 18 in long jump, and number 19 in the 400. Frogs Today was in Waco and had a chance to visit with seniors, long jumper Emma Situ, and shot and discus Sam Calloway, as well as freshman thrower Brenna Williams.
Me and Emma being seniors, we've really seen the whole development from everybody, and the team being so young coming through has just been amazing, hasn't it? Seeing everybody achieve what they need to, and I think it's very motivational, definitely.
I think also coming in freshman year, our team probably was half the size as it is now, and so everyone coming together with more people could mean more division, but it's actually the opposite. We've all united and created this family where we all support each other, cheer each other on, no matter what's going on the field events, the track events, distance sprints, all together we're all supporting each other and just all around a big family.
Coming in, this is my first year here, I think having these amazing seniors that really just push us to be our best people ever, and really just to learn from and to kind of take notes from, and they really set the pace out early, and so it's been great coming into a fast pace and obviously learning from them.
The way the coaches say, you've already put in the work. Since August we've been training, we've done the work. Now it's time to have fun. So when I come out here, I warm up and I go over my little checklist of what I need to do, but other than that, I'm here to have fun, get a mark. Literally on the runway, I'm counting my steps, 1, 2, 3, so I know when I get to the board because my eyes are looking out. But yeah, just coming out here, having fun. I know I have the support of my friends. We even organized, they were leaving the school at 1:15 and they're like, we're gonna get there right before you start. And I heard them out on my left side of my ear, and I knew they were right there. I'm so blessed to have their support and the whole team's support at all times. So.
Strong performances from Graydon Morris, competing out west, winning the 5,000 and taking down the 5K school record. Ben Kerbo, while winning the pole vault at the Michael Johnson Invite in Waco, earned himself another school record.
Go on to the next bar. You're thinking about that next bar, getting the next clear. You just want to keep moving that bar up and up and up until you're at a height that you want to conquer and know that you're the big dog around in that pit. So definitely moving those bigger poles, making sure that those heights are moving pretty fast. And then if you're confident enough, like how I felt today, I skipped a height at 17.2 or something, and felt confident enough to keep that bar rolling pretty high. So.
More wins in Waco. Chachi Gonzalez and Mohamed Kawa finished the top of their podium in the 1500 meter. Gonzalez with the personal best and Kawa with the seasonal best time. Kawa did it again in the 800 meter along with sophomore Georgia Scott. And to round out the weekend, Stone Burke won the 3,000 meter steeplechase. We will have head coach Kadivis Robinson in studio next week to talk about quick success the team is enjoying, as well as a Penn Relays recap and a preview of their home meet, the TCU Horned Frog Invite. Let's talk about TCU football. Big news for Sonny Dykes and his team announced this week. But first, spring ball is in the books for the Frogs, and here are Coach Dykes' thoughts on how it went.
I think going in, we had some questions maybe at running back. I felt like we had talent and just didn't have a lot of experience. Felt like that group really performed, probably more consistently than I thought we would. We added some experience in the portal. Felt like the guys that needed to make a step made a step. I think there's going to be great competition in fall camp for playing time. Like the depth of the group, like the variety of guys. We've got some, powerful guys. We got some fast guys. We've got guys that can do different things. They all catch the ball well. I've been impressed with their ability to pass protect consistently. So I like the group. Quarterbacks is another one that comes to mind. Josh has been solid. I thought Ken has really performed at a high level. And then I think Adams kind of came in and we were going to go into the year with 2 scholarship quarterbacks and a little bit unsure if he could be a 3. And I think he answered the question that he could. He's got a long way to go still. He's a young quarterback, but there's a lot of stuff he's got to learn, but we're very encouraged by him. The 2 linebackers I thought had a great spring. I feel like Namdi and Caleb really played well. I just think those guys are experienced, athletic, committed, tremendous leaders. The buy-in's really high. And I like the young group of corners. I think we've got a lot of depth at the corner spot. As I said, I thought, Channing was one of our most consistent guys all spring. Devondre McGee did a lot of really good things this spring as well. So just, McIver I thought was solid. So like that group. And then, like I said, we're going to add Avery and Vernon to the mix and some young guys as well that continue to develop. So like the group and I think overall those groups kind of surprised me.
As far as news for the Carter boys, the Frogs opened the season this year on Monday, September 1st against Bill Belichick in North Carolina on the road, and then the following year, as the Tar Heels were supposed to come to Fort Worth for a return home game for the Frogs, well, that destination has changed. The teams will be headed across the pond to Ireland's Aviva Stadium on August 29th, 2026 in the Aer Lingus College Football Challenge. For more information on the game, visit frogs2ireland.com. That's frogs with the number 2, Ireland.com. This link is on the screen. After this quick break, we will finish up with men's and women's tennis and volleyball.
Energy does everything for us. It's all-encompassing.
We're all benefiting and affected from it.
And it is something that we all need to know about.
It is the glue that holds everything together.
TCU is powering what matters, our future.
We don't just talk about what's needed, we focus on results.
The Ralph Lowe Energy Institute is creating a world where energy is affordable, sustainable, and reliable.
Our men's and women's tennis teams returned from Waco over the weekend, with the men's dropping their semifinal match to UCF and the women missing out on advancing to the quarterfinals with a loss to Kansas after sweeping Houston. The men have already secured their spot in the NCAAs and as the nation's number 2 ranked team and will host the regionals and super regionals before having to travel to Waco for the quarterfinals.
Yeah, so now that we know there will be a top seed, will probably be the overall number 2 seed, 2 or 3 with Texas. It doesn't really matter. You get to host the first 2 rounds. We know those are Friday the 2nd and Saturday the 3rd right here at home. So I hope all our fans realize this is the NCAAs. And then if we're able to get past those 2, we also host what we call the Super Regionals, the Sweet 16 on the weekend of 9th and 10th. Graduation, Mother's Weekend, lots going on. Hopefully we'll be dealing with that. So right after we lost, the good thing is they gave us one more day to get healthy. We need to get healthier. So we gave the guys 3 days, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, to rest, hit the books. They all got a haircut. These guys don't even have time to get a haircut. The whole team got a haircut. And just regroup and forget about tennis for a minute. And I saw some of our guys walking around campus shirtless, going to beach volleyball practice. I don't know what that is, but, after all, they are 19 years old and who knows what they're thinking. But so it's just give them time because we know what's coming. It's all pressure, not just on the court, but you got finals. Academically, it's a lot of anxiety going on. So the more rest, we just got to keep track of that.
Head coach David Roditi mentioned in his Roditi report after the loss in the Big 12 semifinals that he had to tip his hat to the Knights for their 4-3 win over his Frogs and some takeaways going into the NCAAs and what the pathway looks like for his team and what it will take to defend the national championship from last year.
Yeah, I've always said this. I'm not saying this because we just lost, but to win championships, you got to be good, you got to be prepared, you got to handle the moment well, and you got to be lucky. I said it all last year when we won the NCAAs that you got to be lucky. And part of that luck is the matchups. Part of the luck is the way that each match is unfolding and the timing of when those matches finish and how healthy you are. That's, a big part of it. But every team is banged up at this time of the year. It's just how banged up are you? It's part of that lucky factor.
The selection show is Monday evening for both the men and women. Women's head coach Lee Taylor Walker said his team is right on the bubble and some things need to happen in this weekend's conference tournament for his ladies to have a chance to get in.
Our spring season ended a couple weeks ago, but indoor volleyball is still going strong, and they're at SMU tomorrow at 12:30 against Arkansas State and again at 5:30 taking on Oklahoma. This event is part of the Dallas Power Invite. We got to get some sound from head coach Jason Williams on how the spring has been going this far.
Yeah, I think this has been our best spring so far. We have good numbers in the spring. We've got just really went back and a lot of just individual mechanical, technical reps. But then we also have the numbers to be able to play. And so just the development of everybody has been awesome. And then Samara coming in, early in January and just getting her acclimated to things, it's been very encouraging.
As with a lot of sports now, it is common for teams to get additional players to enroll in January to compete in the spring season, and volleyball is no different. Williams talks about the additions and signings for the fall.
We're really excited about this class. Definitely potential down the road. So we've got a couple of potential All-American type, that are coming in. We'll see how they do if they're able to contribute right away. Samara, has shown that she can play right now. So we're excited about her coming in. But Kinsey Berg, Anna Rice, and Reese Wilburn, great class. But they're going to have to do some work to crack into the lineup.
The schedule is out for the next fall, including the matchups for the Big 12, and we tried to get a hint of what the fall non-conference will look like.
Super excited about non-con. First off, I'm really excited about the Big 12 schedule. It's set up for us to be able to win the Big 12. So if we're good enough to win the Big 12, the schedule is going to help us. Non-con, though, for sure. We haven't released it yet, but we're going to. But, I can just put some, I really just talk about opening weekend. We're going to Pittsburgh and playing two Final Four teams, Pittsburgh and Penn State. So Penn State obviously won the whole thing, last year. Weekend 2 is UCLA is coming to us, maybe playing them twice here. We have a midweek with A&M, who was a Sweet 16 team last year. Missouri, who was a Sweet 16 team last year, is coming to us. Playing them here, which is nice. Then we have a midweek at Texas, obviously Elite 8 team, there. And then finishing at Rice in a tournament there. Just, Rice is solid, right? Tournament level team. This could be, from a top-heavy schedule, the toughest schedule we put together so far.
That will do it for us today, and we thank you for joining us, the only media outlet that covers all of TCU athletics. Stay connected for dynamic, original content right here at Frogs Today. For Roxo Media House and TCU Soccer, I'm Cam Patton.
And I'm Olivia Geller. For everyone here at Roxo Media House, this has been Frogs Today for Friday, April 25th. Thanks for watching. Go Frogs!